Hello, so I'm Kopal Bhandari. I am a major in finance and a minor in digital marketing and communications. I went for my semester abroad at Indiana University, Kelley School of Business in my second year.
And how did you discover the study abroad program at Flame?
So when I was chalking out my experiences that I wanted to have for my undergraduate degree, I wanted experiences that were both filled with extracurriculars and international experiences, international exposure. And when I was doing my own research for where I wanted to spend the next 4 years of my life, I looked at Flame's website and I was like, this is the right space for me.
According to you, what students should seek this opportunity?
I think students that are really, really eager to kind of have experiences that are outside of their comfort zone. And of course, students that don't want to follow a certain path that's already been pre-decided, want to chalk out their own experiences and have a path of their own instead of something that's, pre-decided as an undergraduate degree. These are the things that you're supposed to do. And I think Flame does a really good job at giving you that opportunity, because even in our first year, we are given space to choose a huge number of courses and decide for ourselves which courses do we like, which courses do we not.
How has this experience influenced your academic journey and your perspective on your field of study?
I think the academic rigor at Kelley School of Business really challenged me to kind of start doing more outside of my classroom experiences and learning from doing. So I had a lot of experiences with faculty telling us about things that they did in their college life and about how the analytical skills only come into place when you actually put them to work. So it really helped me understand that if I want to build a career of my own, which not necessarily has to be one certain thing, it's important to get that exposure, get that, whether be it international exposure, be it company exposure. So it's very important to be out there and kind of put yourself in situations where you are challenged to do better.
What were some new skills or new knowledge that you acquired through this experience that you feel like you wouldn't have otherwise?
I think building on the fact that I wouldn't have pushed myself so much to kind of start talking to industry experts, start talking to corporate people in corporate settings if I hadn't gone for this experience. Because even during my sem abroad, I had this course called Integrated Marketing Channels and Advertising. And it was an incredible course because we were basically doing a case competition and we had to present a real-time case to CMOs, industry experts, and have to get real-time feedback from them, use different analytical approaches to get market research done. And all of this made me realize that it's so important to get this kind of exposure, to kind of network with people and understand that just by learning, you will not be able to be an expert in something. You have to kind of keep learning, keep putting yourself in a situation where you are challenged to do better.
What were some cultural differences you observed at your time abroad?
There were many cultural shocks I had when I initially at least went for my semester abroad. Something that really stood out to me, however, was the individualism and self-expression as compared to the very family-oriented setting we have here. Something that I remember, an instance I remember, is one of my friends there was employed as a part-time worker at one of the cafes, but she was also a full-time student. And looking at the rigor at Kelley School of Business as well, I was really, really motivated to see that, because it was incredible to see her juggling both and still being able to go out and do extracurriculars and professionally, build her career as an international student.
So what kind of a job was your friend doing?
She was working as a barista, and she was working there, I believe, twice or thrice a week, which is really, really hard work compared to added on with doing a full-time degree.
And is there any distinct or memorable moment you had at your time abroad?
There were many memorable moments I've had at my semester abroad, and it's really hard to put 5 months of experiences in one memorable moment, but I'll give you a few. So one of the experiences I had was attending Lunar New Year with the Chinese Scholars and Students Association. And it was really incredible to see so many students come together with the festivities, with all the preparations that went behind the celebrations. And it was a grand celebration for an entire day. And I just loved being part of it and learning about their traditions, their culture, something that I hadn't even read about. Another experience I think I had that was really cool to have was being part of the Indiana University versus Purdue University's women's basketball game. And the team spirit, the nature of the sport itself was so incredible. And fun fact, Indiana itself is known to be the origin for basketball as a sport, and it continues to be the center for that sport in the entirety of US.
You didn't decide to take up a part-time job?
So I did think about it, but looking into it and looking at the pros and cons, because I was only there for just one semester, I thought that I would take up opportunities that kind of put me in a different setting, because I wasn't going to get to do that particular semester again, right?
And the cultural differences and observations that you had, how did they enrich your understanding of the world?
I think it instilled in me the importance of being self-independent, like being independent and thinking for yourself before you look for social proof when you want to do something. Because in the end, everybody is so different from each other that subscribing to someone else's idea of fun, of what they should be doing in life, doesn't have to be a set given manual. It's very important to chalk your own experiences out. And I think that's what it really helped me understand, that no one has to agree with my decisions or my goals as long as I see myself or I portray myself in that particular experience.
What challenges did you face at your time abroad, and how did you overcome these challenges?
So initially, being part of Flame for 2 years, it was a very different setting to go abroad. The currency, the time zone, the temperatures, everything was foreign to me. Everything was different. So no matter how much I had prepared to be in a very different setting, it still felt overwhelming. It was nerve-wracking. But I think to cope with that, I looked back to my friends here at Flame. I looked back to my family, and I was in constant touch with them. But at the same time, I was realizing that I'm here for a purpose. And I just kept reminding myself that I've worked really hard to get here, and not taking advantage of all these opportunities would be an injustice to myself and all the hard work I had put in.
What were some learnings and skills from Flame that helped you overcome these challenges?
I think the entire concept of Flame, having you being at Flame for the entirety of the 4 years and having to live on campus, helped a lot when I went there, because it had already instilled in me this sense of, confidence in myself, trusting myself when I'm making these decisions, small decisions on a daily basis, in fact, and just independence in general. And I also feel like at Flame, we are always given the opportunity to speak our minds, speak our hearts out. And that's something that was really good to see abroad as well, because in classroom settings and in personal friendships and relationships, I felt very open to talking about things that may not be entirely what someone else agreed with, but we were still being able to have a very constructive conversation about it.
Did you form any significant relationships or networks during your time there, and how have they impacted you?
So one very particular network or relationship I formed was with one of my professors. She is an industry expert in advertising and digital marketing and just in the industry. And in her course, constantly in conversation, she would mention this very important quote that's just stuck with me. What got you here won't get you there. So by that, what she always said was that the experiences and the skills you've honed to get to where you are right now are not necessarily going to be the only skills and experiences you will need in the future. You need to keep growing, you need to keep developing these skills, as and when you're kind of navigating your life. And she always said that just because you did something by now doesn't mean you'll keep being able to do it, because the world is so dynamic. Doing things just for the sake of it will never help you. So she really instilled in me the learner, and wanting to just keep learning. And I'm really, really grateful for that.
Can you share a story with the person you met over there who left a very lasting impact on you?
So I think the friend I was talking about, who is working part-time and as an international student full-time in university, she really left a very interesting impact on me, because I never thought I'd see that, first of all. And secondly, she was so motivated and she was so driven that it motivated me to do better. It motivated me to keep growing and always understand that hard work will pay off.
In what ways have you grown personally and professionally through this experience?
So professionally, I'd say I've built a really good network of people in the industry, people who are going to eventually be in the industry. And I've got to learn a lot about their experiences and how they have navigated through their careers. And it's really helped me understand different perspectives, the way different people function, and also working with different people from different cultures. So it's really made me more sensitive to cultural diversity. And personally, I think it's just made me grow as a person. It's made me understand so many things about myself, things that I wouldn't have understood if I was here and hadn't gone for this experience. Because there were small and big moments that I had to make decisions only thinking about myself when I was there at the semester abroad. And it now constantly reminds me that a decision about my life should come from me first and then from the people around me.
What advice would you give to students who are seeking similar opportunities?
Something very important about seeking opportunities like this is making sure that you're proactive, that you are talking to as many people as you can, understanding as many things as you can. Go out there, talk to people, get mentorship, look for opportunities, because we live in a very digital world. So everything is out there. It's a matter of what you want and how you find it. So it's very important for students to kind of go out there, take that leap of faith, and make sure that you talk to people as much as possible. Even if it's not necessarily what you want to do, they could direct you in a way that could help you in the future.
What tips would you give to students to prepare for or make the most of their experience abroad?
I think being prepared for anything and everything, thinking of things that probably won't happen, but you still want to think about them and make sure you have contingent plans in place. The number of times I was like scared and nervous, but me being prepared beforehand helped me during that semester. Like, for example, having a bank account there, I had prepared myself and I had researched enough to know which bank had, a good program for college students, for international students. And all these little things really helped me, because I was so prepared with it that it did not create so much of chaos or nervousness for me.
How has this experience shaped your future goals and aspirations?
The need to have a very global experience and being immersed with different cultures has just been solidified even more. I think being there was one of the best experiences I've had, and I'm really, really grateful for it, because it also reminded me of how much I don't know, of how many things I have no clue about. So be it in investment banking, be it in fund management, be it in any marketing roles that I'm going to take up in the future at some point, it's reminded me to always look around and instilled in me the need to have a very global and well-rounded experience.
And finally, where do you see yourself in the next few years, and how has Flame University prepared you for the path?
So I see myself being in the industry, and whether be it in finance or be it in digital marketing or communications. And I know that the experiences that I've had at my semester abroad and at Flame have honed my skills in a way that both my soft skills and hard skills are being used well. And I look forward to putting these skills to use in the industry I want to work in. I also feel like Flame has really motivated me to keep being a learner at heart, and for that I'm always grateful.